Alright. I had to go back and review my footage, because just realized I was muted during one of those parts. Didn't mean to be. Whoops. It was during that moonlit bridge section in the cathedral. It was hint number 8. It's a, what does it say? A moonlit bridge blocks access to a secret. A treasure. A treasure. A moonlit bridge blocks access. And just in case that didn't make it through, yeah. There's a moonlit bridge there at night, but it goes away during the day, and the trophy appears during the day. So, first time I came through here, I was kind of thrown through a loop that confused me, but now it makes more sense. You need the bridge gone and access it the other way to get the treasure. So, we're all good there. Now, I have all these treasures, and we have access to the glyph tower. Let's go in. That's this big room. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is currently the end game. Currently, where the community is kinda stuck or waiting on more answers. And there's only so far we can dig. If we start entering the D-pad, we can start getting random symbols all over the place. It took me a while to figure this one out, but I did eventually look up the hints on the last page here, and that's what I was pointing out earlier. Unsing to them the greatest song, the song of the holy path, the golden path, as seen from within. So if I bring up my dual screen here, oops, that up there, bring back our golden path. Let's go back in. Now, unsing to them, as seen from within. It took me a while to figure out what that actually meant, even after looking up the answer. It took me a minute to figure out what they meant by that. But, think about this as a window. We are looking at the game, at the screen. They want us to unsing the golden path, which you could assume is to do it in reverse, but as seen from within. So imagine you are inside the TV, inside the screen, looking out at us. That's the view we want. So therefore you would mirror horizontally, and now you're seeing as seen from within. That didn't click with me the first time. Again, just pure cleverness. When we do that,
God damn it.
when I enter this pattern,
It's on its burner. It's on this setting.
okay. I think I did this right. Now we have, do you fear the eyes of the far shore? And then what would be a vowel dot followed by KO or ko? That part confused me for a second. That part took me a little while. But do you fear the eyes of the far shore? .co. And this is kind of where the ARG begins. If I go to Do You Fear the Eyes of the Far Shore .co on my browser, I get taken here. Hold on. You get taken here. Now, brace yourselves, watch your volume, because if you click on the page, you get this. That's it. And it'll just repeat. That's where the glyph tower has led us. And the idea, some people right away took to taking the sound file or taking a recording and importing the sound file into a spectrogram. Oh, excuse me. And I believe this was what they call the Rosetta Stone for Tunic, for the musical language. This was how the music language was cracked wide open.
Oh, that's cool.
Through this website. And I might still do this puzzle just for fun, just to learn it, because I've been learning Tunic. I've been learning how to read the music language. Not by ear. I can't just by ear, but I can translate it rudimentarily. Yeah. But this sound file says, "We are the eyes of the far shore." So the message here is, do you fear the eyes of the far shore? And the website says, "We are the eyes of the far shore." And right now, that's it. As far as concrete answers, as far as actual things we know, that's it. I've combed over a lot of what the community knows for a fact and what they've speculated on, where the theories have gone. I've thrown a couple of my own out there. But this right now is the I don't know what else to call it. It's the next hurdle. This is the linchpin point. This is, I don't know what, like, it, other than right now, this is the end game. This is the puzzle that everyone's hung up on. And this also kind of ties into Dicey's statement, where he said he would like to keep at least one secret for himself, whether that's forever or not. I don't know. I don't think he said. There's a lot that can be speculated here. There's a lot that can be discussed. This message says, do you fear the eyes of the far shore? Do you fear the eyes of the far shore? And then, we are the eyes of the far shore. Remember at the beginning of this replay, I wanted to point out this screen. Wow, I've saved a lot since then. This. Very peculiar detail. If we... Yeah, look at this. The eyes are flipped. If I go to my screens here, if we jump back to this website, the red is on the left, the green is on the right. Whereas here, green is on the left, red is on the right. So again, as if it's flipped, as if this is our perspective. This is us looking in. And this is the game looking at us. If we take this at face value, the immediate assumption you could maybe draw, we are the eyes of the far shore, meaning we, the players. It's supposed to be meta. It's supposed to be, you know, because they've already toyed around with that idea. I kind of immediately dismissed that thought where literally we, the player, are the eyes of the far shore. I kind of dismissed that thought right away because it kind of comes off as like dream theory or, you know, just convenient type of theory. Everything's just a game. But there's a bit more to it than that, because I've talked about how the librarian seems to think or theorize or hypothesize or guess, or he seems to have the idea that the world is in a game cartridge or this cartridge type thing. So, like, there's reasons to believe that the librarian is on track to discovering that we are in a video game or we are in a virtual world of some kind. That could be a part of it, but that also links back to, like, we are the eyes of the far shore. We, the players, are looking in. But That's where I'm kind of stuck too, because what does that imply lore-wise? What does that have to do lore-wise, and why do you fear the eyes of the far shore? What is that? Are we afraid? Are they asking, are we afraid of what we can see? Of what we do see? Are they asking the fox and the other foxes, and are they asking the game if they fear us? Or is it not even, am I entirely off rail, and this is some other creatures? Because, like, they've been called disquiet beings. Let me at least get some, like, background music going again. They've been labeled, I'm not 100% sure they've been labeled disquiet beings within game or officially canon-wise, but the fan base has labeled them disquiet beings. That's these, like, oh no, it does. What am I saying? It does so in the introduction. Yeah, they are. Yeah, that is that is confirmed. It's this page. And all manner of disquiet contradictions. See, on this page, the red is on the left. I'm still like, so what are these then? Down here. It's wild, and this is where the speculation can really, you know, come off the hinges. Because I'm the type, it's not like we need concrete, solid answers. At least. Like, I don't need concrete, solid answers to everything that's going on here. But at the same time, there's definitely something. There's definitely some message or lore, just epic lore thing happening. There's something here that they're showing their hand a little, they're teasing a bit, but they're keeping us from intentionally. And it just makes you rifle through all of the different theories, all of the different... It is fascinating. It is truly... It's poetic is what it is. It's not, like, groundbreaking, deep lore, deep fantasy lore with high stakes and stuff like that, you know what I mean? It doesn't need that. It's not fascinating because it's super, super deep and super complex and complicated. The beauty is in its simplicity, and it's poetic. This game and its story and its themes plants seeds in your mind, and they reinvigorate, along with its original goal, which is to reinvigorate that feeling of that magic of reading a Zelda 1 manual or an original RPG, of an old school RPG manual. The magic you would get from not knowing, like, the story isn't hard, it's the ambiguity of it. It's how nothing is spelled out and nothing is explained. Even the things that are explained are done so in such a language, such, again, ambiguous language. Especially this frickin' intro. Like, the entire... Let me go back over here. Let me go back to the manual translation. Yeah, just the wording. When I first discovered the translation for the manual and learned the story, just the wording is so, like, vague, but in such an interesting way. Such a captivating way. Where are we? There lived a civilization of great power. They built a city, and within that city they built a palace. They held sacred the secrets of the Holy Cross and understood the plainer nature of reality. They ventured to the far shore and sought power from the spaces between. As is usual, an alluring old power was discovered. Fossils of self, annealed visions of the future, entombed and cast into sarcophagi and buried. A lever in the canonical plane, a store of potential. Perhaps it is the fabled prize, the power to defy death. The discovering hero opened a tomb and revealed a terrible truth. A cathedral was built to venerate this new origin of life, and the faithful were granted the grace of holy oblivion. Now this is... Oops. It's almost like every other... I like how this is structured, too. It starts with the civilization. It starts with the people, then goes to the power, then goes to the people, then goes to the power again. But this last chapter, the lever overworked, the fulcrum shattered. A hole in truth will thunder open, and all manner of disquiet contradictions will gnaw apart the canonical plane. The thread is snagged into a squirming coil, with no beginning and no end. Flee to your arcs, old ones, and become your predestined selves. So the lever overworked, and the fulcrum shattered. I've kind of gone over this before, first time I read this. The lever overworked and the fulcrum shattered. The lever being these arcs and the power itself. What is it? Fossils of self, annealed visions of the future, entombed and cast into sarcophagi. A lever in the canonical plane. If we take the word lever literally, means to, like, elevate, means to raise you. And this is like this is what I mean, you kind of have to start evaluating the story like this. With the language, you have to, like, nitpick words if you're gonna make any sense of it. So, a lever in the canonical plane. A means to elevate in the canonical plane, and a store of potential. That's more self-explanatory. The lever overworked, the fulcrum shattered. The lever being this new power, the fulcrum, like the thing that a lever sits on, the fulcrum being civilization, being, I would assume, almost the canonical plane itself. Like, reality started to shatter, is what they're saying. The power overworked and reality shattered. Therefore, a hole in truth will thunder open, and all manner of disquiet contradictions will gnaw apart the canonical plane. Then, what I find funny is, probably the easiest part to understand is the fact that we're in a time loop. The thread is snagged onto a squirming coil with no beginning and no end. Maybe that's just because, you know, pop culture was so used to timeline shenanigans and time loops and stuff like that, but ironically, that's like the easiest part to get a grasp of, is the fact that we're in a time loop. But even then, I have questions. Like I said earlier, I still have questions on the nature of our actual time loop here. Alright, let me actually get to the last page. We got a prison and a beacon. But one must live outside the shivering ring, the air seeking an heir to the air, a beacon to bring about a ruin seeker. to either grow strong and replace an ailing heir, or to hold sacred Holy Cross and ensure their wisdom lives on. And awaiting a worthy successor, which will you be, Ruin Seeker? Have you arrived here seeking treasure and glory, or do you seek to uncover deeper truths? Look carefully, for the golden path is everywhere, lies everywhere. It's hard to really wrap. It's something I also really am appreciating about this game. It's hard to succinctly wrap all of my thoughts into a coherent, like, stream of thoughts. It's there's so many different concepts, or there's only a few concepts, I guess, but they're going in such radical, abstract directions that I plan on writing something down for this, whether it be a theory or just a discussion piece or something, because I need to write my thoughts down on this to discuss it further. And this is why. This part right here is why. If you go over to my Discord under the Tunic section, you'll see a couple of people kind of losing their minds over this, trying to figure it out. And furthermore, of course, in the Finji Discord themselves. Like, a lot of people, I think, have accepted that this is related to the one secret Dicey wanted to keep. I love how that's like a lore. That's like a huge lore gem in and of itself. That's like the far-off MacGuffin. The one secret he'll never tell. Or the one secret he wants to keep. Fascinating. This game is something else. It is this is truly a unique experience. Not in execution. It's beautiful in execution. It's totally unique in content, I guess, concept. I don't know what I'm saying. I am just so amazed by this freaking game. Constantly. Okay, well, I think it's only appropriate to lay waste to these guys real quick. I think we put a cap on this. Let's replay by visiting the air one more time. Hello there. I don't want to fight. No, after all that, I don't want to fight you. I also feel like there's this theme of Why are we trying to remember who we were? Why are we trying... Why is it such a theme? Remembering our heroes' past and stuff like that. And what kind of ties into the lost friends, I guess I'm calling them. The other Ruin Seekers. If you go into this game just trying to get good, just trying to max out your stats, fight the boss as good as possible, you will achieve that, but you'll end up no better than the other lost friends. Whereas you seek out the relics, you seek out the fairies, you seek for more answers. I don't have a coherence there yet either. I feel like there's something there, but goddamn. I've been theory crafting and I've been thinking. Turn this down a little. I've been giving this game a lot of thought. What I want to say about it, how I feel about it. But all I can say right now is, once again, thank you, Finji. Thank you, Dicey. And thank you, everybody involved in this. This was just truly a special experience. I did not know that I needed this game. I wasn't looking for a Zelda-like indie game. It's not really my alley. When it comes to indies, I'm more about the platformers, about the action games, about the really niche, unique experiences. Sometimes, too. I have to thank Marshbag, our fellow streaming friend, who, probably more than anyone else, recommended me this game. A couple people recommended me, thought that I would enjoy this, of course. If I ever make a video game, or am involved in making a video game, I aspire to make one just like this. Just as thought-provoking, just as good to look at, even with low fidelity, even with, you know, everything involved. I aspire to make something with this much passion behind it, something that's this welcoming, something this inviting, something that instills magic as hard as this one does, instills that it'll even give you a false nostalgia. It'll give you nostalgia for a time you never experienced. This is a very special experience, one that I will never let go of. Thank you, Finji, one last time. Thank you, Dicey. And thank you for viewing, for watching. Hope to see you over here on Twitch, where I'll be doing the Fireblade Challenge. Don't think I'm going to make that a Let's Play. I'm just going to do that as a Twitch challenge thing I play here. But thank you all so much for joining me on this adventure. And I'll see you on the next one.